This video is only my opinion. You do not have to agree with it, and if you disagree, you can feel free to comment that. I will read it, okay? Pillar Chase 2 obviously houses a lot of different monsters, and obviously that's one of the biggest reasons that people play this game is because of the monsters. But today I want to answer a simple question. Who is the absolute most fun character to play against? Now if we're doing the most fun monster to play as, I think this question would be extremely objective, and honestly it could vary depending on who you ask. But when you're playing up against the monster, it is extremely obvious which ones will give you a splitting headache and which ones are actually fun to play against. Now obviously I do want to point out once again, this is only my opinion, this is not fact, this is not law, you can form your own opinions. In fact, I'll probably read them in the comment section down below. Like I said, before this video starts, just my opinion. Okay, so first off, I want to start off with the monsters that actually give you splitting headaches every time you play against them, just because these guys genuinely suck, and every time I see them in a game, I don't want to play it. And I think the biggest one to start off with is PCX. I do not mind playing up against a single PCX in a server, that is completely fine, but when there is 5, 6, 7 people all running the exact same character in the exact same lobby, it's just not fun to play against anymore. A lot of the time, if I see lobbies full of PCXs, I just dodge and move to the next one because I know I'm not going to have any fun in the current lobby. PCX himself is a really fun character, and I think playing up against him is not that bad, but when it is everyone, and I mean everyone from every single server playing him, it's just not fun to go against anymore. But it's obvious why he has such a high pick rate. It's because he's just extremely good and can execute a lot of kills. But unfortunately for everyone who's playing the game and wants to go up against a variety, they don't get that. Like I said, this guy is not bad to go against, it just gets boring when you're playing him in the exact same lobby every single game. Now this next spot doesn't exactly go to a character, but more of an ability, and that would be Ventilation Error on Springtrap. Now if you've ever gone up against enough Springtraps in a row to have to deal with this constant problem of ventilation error, it is genuinely the worst thing to go against. If you're on a big map, it's not too big of a deal, you get to run around, you might not be able to see, but you'll be fine. But if you're on any close quarters map, you are most likely screwed. Oh boy, do I love being blinded for over 10 seconds with a single use of his ability and running into every wall because I don't have every map memorized in my head. Now other than this ability, I almost have no problem with Springtrap at all. In fact, I love his axe throwing mechanic. I just absolutely hate playing against ventilation error, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. But I'm not in charge of balancing, so I'm in no place to tell them how to fix their game. But other than that ability, Springtrap gets a thumbs up because he's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, this next one is 100% bias, and I'm not even gonna try and hide that fact. 70 damage on a single attack. Let me repeat myself. 70 damage on a single attack. Now you may be saying, Gabe, MX has the exact same amount of damage, why aren't you getting on him? See, I would, but I feel like MX has some redeemable qualities on him, and not just, the 70 damage powerhouse that this guy has. I actually wrote a script a while back about Vapor, and I never actually ended up filming it, but essentially was the extent that this guy hits like an absolute bus, and it is so annoying to go against. I'm not even going to get started on his spider crabs, because I really do not want to go down that path right now, but just know I absolutely hate playing against Vapor. Sorry, let me rephrase. I mean the people who actually know how to play Vapor extremely well and are actually capable of pulling off his abilities and actually wrecking your lobby. But that's enough negativity for now. Honestly, I could go on all day about little nitpicking things that I could go on about every single character, but I'm not going to do that. So let's just go ahead and move on to some of the better characters that I actually enjoy playing up against a lot. I mean, come on, you knew he was going to be on this list, let's be honest with ourselves. Fogborn is easily one of the most fun people to play against just because of the surprises that this man brings. With him being able to go completely invisible and show up at completely random points during the match, this is why his character is so much fun. Both to play as and play against, I think everyone can agree that these guys actually are just a lot of fun. Their ability to turn completely invisible and then reappear is absolutely horrifying, and I think that's what makes them so much fun to play against. The sheer surprise of seeing him teleport directly in front of you and you having to make a split-second decision is so much fun. I don't think his abilities are overpowered by any means, and I think that's why it feels balanced when you actually play against him. And I can already hear someone saying, oh, I don't want to stare at the ground the entire game. Then don't. Look up. Alright, nothing's stopping you from looking up. If you're too scared to see him, then be that way. But guess what? I'm not scared to get mauled just for looking at him. Let's go. But if we're being serious, this guy is amazing on almost every single map, from close quarter maps to extremely open maps, just because his abilities work in both. He feels extremely balanced from both sides, and when you're playing against him, it's not, oh, I died because of some stupid crutch. It's, oh, I died because I made a mistake. And I think that's what this character highlights the best, is people make mistakes, and that's where this guy capitalizes the most. Even if you are one of the top Pillar Chase players, you still make mistakes, and that's where this guy is absolutely amazing. I'll forever love the Fogborn just because he is a lot of fun to go against and a lot of fun to play, and I will stand by that. But this next character is just as unpredictable as well, and that would be the Vita Mimic. Now while the Fogborn and the Vita Mimic both kind of share the exact same ability of going invisible, or at least the Vita Mimic tries, they're both insanely terrifying when they pop up, and I think that is one of the biggest reasons on why I love these two guys the most. As a person who plays a lot of horror games, not just on Roblox, I think it's a lot of fun getting scared, and I think these guys definitely take the cake for doing that the most often. These guys will pop up randomly and just be in your face, and it is terrifying. I think that's honestly a downside of most of the monsters in this game, is that they're just not that scary to go against. Or at least after your first time going against them, it just doesn't feel that scary anymore. But when it comes to these guys and their constant ability to be able to pop into your face without any warning, I think that's what makes them some of the scariest monsters in this game. Now obviously I do still get scared by other monsters, don't get me wrong, but these two definitely do it the most consistently. And I promise you, no one found you scary anymore. But all those monsters previously weren't exactly the reason I made this video. I made this video for one specific monster because I think that their gameplay is so unique, I think that their abilities are so much fun, and I just genuinely love playing against them, and that's why I made this video in the first place. And that monster would be the AO Oni. Now obviously I already hear a lot of people saying that their main wasn't here, so it's not a good video, and let me explain myself on why this killer is so much fun. While the AO Oni may only have two abilities, one of them basically just being to find people, his main ability is the one reason why he shines so much. Being able to turn to anyone on the entire map and mess with people is by far one of the most fun things to play against. Instead of Pillar Chase becoming a runaway from the monsters game, it becomes a whodunit basically, trying to figure out if the person next to you is who they truly say they are. Sometimes I genuinely wish that the AO Oni would get extra time on the clock just to mess with people a little bit more. I feel like this character would be even more fun if he was able to lean into the entire fact that people don't really know who he is. I think another reason of why this monster is so amazing is because he really does not have a bad map to play on. I also think that the feature of hiding who's dead while the AO Oni's hunting is a really cool thing. Not being able to trust anyone around you makes the round extremely paranoid, and I think that's what makes it so much fun as well. I mean, if you're with a large group of people, how do you know that someone there isn't the AO Oni? Like I said, I really wish that this game would lean more into that, because I think it'd be a lot more fun if the AO Oni had a lot more time on the clock to be able to slowly catch people. Now obviously the AO Oni doesn't have stuff like bombs and being able to basically curb stomp people into the ground, but he's just an extremely fun character to play against. Now while I don't always play the AO Oni, I think playing against him is a lot of fun, because you almost always play up against someone with a different playstyle than the last. Coming from a Wisp main, I absolutely love action in this game, and this guy definitely brings something that's not seen in most killers. Honestly, if you want to see good gameplay, just look up Diamond AO Oni and you will see so many different playstyles, and it's so cool to watch these guys because they all play slightly differently, and that's what makes this character just so much fun. For the most part, I really don't care who I'm playing against. I think all these monsters are unique in their own ways, and that's what makes them so much fun. And I think that's the reason I play so much Pillar Chase 2 in the first place, is just because a lot of these guys feel unique and they don't feel all the exact same copy and pasted. If you want an honorable mention for this list, honestly, I just throw the Forest King on here just because you don't see her that often, and when you do see her, it kind of feels unique. And also, it's finally about time that you stop playing against all the PCX mains. But yeah, that's literally all I have for this video, and honestly, it was a lot of fun to make. Like I said, I like talking about this game. I think it's a lot of fun. I think whenever I get around to the AO Oni stereotypes, that's going to be a giant hurdle I'm going to have to get through, just because he is such a weird character. But yeah, take home lesson here is that I enjoy this game. I think you guys should too, because it's a fun and unique game. But yeah, that's about it. But thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far, please consider subscribing. I just post a lot of Pillar Chase 2 content and a lot of, I guess, Roblox content as well. But yeah, once again, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.